Imagine having the chance to go back to 1995 and invest in the internet before it completely rewired the global economy, or buying Amazon stock when it was literally just an online bookstore, and securing a stake in Google before it became a household search engine. Fast forward a bit and think about pouring capital into mobile technology right before the first iPhone launched in 2007. Today, those opportunities look incredibly obvious, but the vast majority of the public entirely miss them because they were distracted by the screen in front of them rather than the systems powering it. Investors consistently miss generational fortunes because they fixate on the surface novelty of a new product, entirely ignoring the massive underlying infrastructure shifts that actually make those products possible. Right now, another massive wave of trillion-dollar industries is quietly being built, and the general public is repeating the exact same mistake they made 3 decades ago. When people see AI tools like ChatGPT or Gemini, they focus purely on the software. It is the modern equivalent of marveling at a glass touchscreen while ignoring the telecommunication networks needed to make it work. To understand where the real value lies, we have to look at what we call the stack. At the very top is the consumer software we all interact with, but beneath that thin surface are 3 massive layers of hidden infrastructure required to run the future economy. The largest fortunes over the next 20 years will not come from traditional apps. They will be generated by the companies building these deeper, unseen foundations. If we want to identify the next major wealth creation events, we have to look past the chatbots and systematically descend into the hidden supply chains of tomorrow. Directly beneath the software layer sits the physical infrastructure network that makes AI possible. Every single AI query requires tangible computing power. Tech giants are currently pouring hundreds of billions of dollars into data centers, semiconductor factories, and the massive cooling systems required to keep all that hardware from melting down. As we push the absolute limits of traditional hardware, the next necessary leap is quantum computing. By processing information with qubits instead of standard bits, quantum systems are being designed to solve complex chemical and financial modeling problems that classical computers simply cannot handle. With this digital brain rapidly expanding, protecting it becomes critical. Cybersecurity is transitioning from a basic IT line item into an absolute necessity for infrastructure protection and national defense. Inside this digital layer, financial operations are evolving through tokenization. This allows massive real-world assets, like real estate and physical infrastructure, to be fractionalized into digital pieces and traded globally with almost zero friction. But a highly advanced digital brain is completely useless if it doesn't have a way to execute its commands in the real world. That brings us to layer 2. We drop down from the cognitive stack into the physical and labor stack, where digital intelligence actually reshapes physical materials. AI is finally giving robotics the ability to learn and adapt. Humanoid robots are stepping off the isolated factory floor to fill a multi-trillion-dollar global labor shortage driven by aging populations. This intelligence is combining with 3D printing and advanced materials to create highly automated megafactories. It allows entire countries to dramatically cut costs and aggressively onshore their critical supply chains. And logistics are expanding well beyond Earth. Because launch costs have plummeted over the last decade, space is now a highly accessible commercial zone. Cheaper access creates completely new economic sectors, ranging from low-latency satellite internet and global navigation to zero-gravity manufacturing. Yet, no matter how many robots we build or rockets we launch, their expansion is strictly capped by the sheer volume of base resources they consume. We've finally hit the bedrock level of the future economy, the survival and resource stack. The electrical demands of AI data centers and highly automated factories are staggering. That makes clean energy generation, and specifically advanced battery storage to hold that energy when the wind isn't blowing, the ultimate economic bottleneck. Beside power, we need water. Population growth and heavy industrial expansion are rapidly draining our current systems, making large-scale desalination and smart water grids completely essential infrastructure. Then there is the human biological limit. We are using genetics and AI diagnostics to accelerate drug discovery and personalized treatments, effectively building a longevity industry designed to extend healthy human lifespans to match this era. The businesses capable of solving these existential energy, water, and biological constraints will command astronomical valuations, simply because their solutions are absolutely non-negotiable for our survival. Looking at all three layers of the stack reveals the primary error most investors make when trying to predict the future. They chase the final product rather than the ecosystem. During the 1990s internet boom, thousands of flashy consumer websites went to zero. But the companies building the unglamorous back-end infrastructure, like digital mapping and data routing software, quietly grew into monoliths. During the California gold rush, merchants selling tools generated far more reliable wealth than the miners hunting for the gold itself. In the smartphone era, the vast majority of long-term profit accumulated within the underlying layers: semiconductor suppliers, app stores, and cloud server networks. The greatest economic opportunities are rarely the ones dominating the daily headlines. They are consistently hidden much deeper in the value chain. The foundations for the next trillion-dollar industries are being poured right now, largely out of the public view. We may not be able to perfectly predict which specific AI software or humanoid robot will capture the market. But the intense demand for the energy, data centers, and advanced manufacturing them is a mathematical certainty, which leaves you with a choice. You can sit back and act as a passive consumer of tomorrow's technology, or you can begin studying these layers to participate in building them. Understanding these hidden layers allows for a more strategic position within the economic shifts of the 21st century.